How are y'all doing? It's Gaboon from the Gaboon World Network, coming at you just like Moist Critical with his white tee. This is a V-neck. I don't know. Does Charlie wear a V-neck? I have no idea. Anyways, the main topic of this video. Cory Kenshin. We've covered him twice on this channel. Very good content creator. Seems like a genuinely good person. But recently, he has gotten struck with an age restriction. And because of this, he has, based on why, of course, he's made some pretty serious allegations towards YouTube in terms of the title of the video, which is racism and favoritism. Also, excuse me if I wipe my nose a little bit. I'm dealing with a little bit of allergies. As falls, well, not really from here, but oh well. Yeah, so he has made that video in which he made some things in which, because he made, Mortuary Assistant, got pretty popular. He did a series on it, and with one of the videos that he did with a certain scene had to do with self-harm, suicide, stuff like that. So they age-restricted Cory. He was a little upset about this, and rightfully so, because he's somebody that literally edits swear words out, because he wants to, he's very friendly with what he does on the internet. He wants to try to conform with YouTube's terms of service and everything like that. So he tries his damnedest. All props to him. But, so he got age restricted because of that one scene. So because he was upset, he went through, I think he said 2 hours of content. And none of the others were age restricted. He went through people like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and others, and they were not age restricted. So he was mad about this and tried to appeal the video. And he used, I think it was Mark's video for reference. And they actually unage restricted the video.
And what do you know? They re-age restricted the video. They re-age restricted the video. I say, no way did they do that. I go to Markiplier's video now, and now his video is age restricted. They got caught with their pants down.
You would think that after this age restriction, everything would be all hunky-dory. He would go back to, well, he hasn't really made content in a while. He comes back and is trending all the time. But because of this, he did not go back to being all happy and whatnot. He actually got a little bit more mad. It was like, why did you strike me? And then, they didn't give him a strike, they just age restricted him. And age restriction is also really like a muddy thing with how it works. So yeah, they removed his age restriction, and he got mad because, like, you did not age restrict any of these other people. But when I show you these more brand-friendly, favorable creators, they instead unage restricted him. And he sent a pretty scathing email down to his YouTube rep. And, yeah, let's just say they age restricted him. This is the first time on the platform I have ever seen, in my entire life, the first time I've ever seen a unage restriction to a re-age restriction. And not only did they age restrict Cory, they age restricted Markiplier, who he used as a reference for this. I think Jack said from his video that he's been age restricted since like August 15th. But Mark hasn't, and he got age restricted after doing this. In which now he's mad about that as well. Because, I mean, I guess he made his point, but yeah. But it's also like a really weird topic with age restrictions. For a thumbnail I didn't use anybody for reference because I didn't know if the system would work, and I don't think they deserve this, considering that they're literally a archive channel. But for the Library of Etika channel, I used a thumbnail Etika used for my latest video besides, before this one, which is the sexiest Nintendo Switch game just got canceled. Luckily, we have other games. But the original thumbnail I used came from another video that Etika made, and I can still say, yeah, it's sexually provocative, without a doubt. I'm not gonna lie about that. It is literally an anime girl getting her tits groped. So, I mean, I can see that. But honestly, I would rather them say it was for copyright than sex and nudity, because it's still a thumbnail I was using. And honestly, that's the reason I used that thumbnail, because I thought I would be safe. Personally, I actually have a thumbnail ready to use, even right now. I still have it. But I didn't know if I'd be safe to use it. So I used the Etika thumbnail, and it still got that policy. So now I'm even more scared to use that thumbnail. I used a different thumbnail, but yeah, that out of the way. Cory made some pretty serious allegations regarding color on the platform and favoritism.
Single time I start to get an uptick in traction, an uptick in activity, here comes YouTube coming through. Hey, uh, let's get him for that video from 2019. Yeah, you see this, Cory? No, this is bad. It wasn't bad the 9 months that I was off the platform. It was only bad when I got back and I was #1 trending.
Yeah, so I didn't mention it. I did mention it earlier, but I wanted to save it for this point, because Cory, doesn't really upload as every day. He uploads every now and again, and he's been trending every single time. But it seems like every single time he's trending, YouTube does something to completely fuck him over. So they're like, originally, for one thing he got a copyright strike for a video he made back in 2019. And yeah, that sucks. Copyright strikes can happen at literally any time. But then he comes back now and gets an age restriction for a video on a game, which, I mean, does have a serious topic on it. But it's like, why specifically him getting targeted like this, but then not people like Mark or Jack? You know, and that was also a point that Jack made in his video, was that his girlfriend actually has gotten things like age restrictions before he does, and they both point out it's kind of weird, but then he'll eventually get it, so you know what, yeah. But it seems like, for what Cory said, do I think YouTube's actually racist? Fuck no, they're not actually racist. Is there favoritism? Definitely, yeah. There's definitely a lot of favoritism at YouTube. I mean, hell, YouTube Rewind now was not even, well, 2018 at least, was not even YouTube Rewind. I mean, well, yeah, it was still YouTube Rewind, but it definitely had favoritism within it. Like, you had people like Will Smith, Ninja, who technically was a Twitch streamer. They didn't really have your YouTube, basically. And then 2019, that's fuck all. We don't talk about just those two. But YouTube now has definitely leaned more into, and even if you log out, that was something Cory said in his video, if you log out of YouTube and go to like an incognito mode or whatever, if you go through those through the recommendation page for that, they will just give you random things. I had to do it today because I signed in on a computer. They do not really give you like some of the more, you know, I'll be honest, I mean, I know, like I said, I don't think they're racist, but they give you more stuff like memes, try not to laughs, and, you know, stuff like that. So it's just like, there's definitely favoritism on YouTube, that's without a doubt. But I think this is not only just a problem for like bigger YouTubes like Cory, for example. This can also be an even bigger problem for people like with smaller creators, like 20 to 30,000 subscribers, because they don't have a YouTube rep. They are completely alone in the dark. At the best, I had to actually do this once. You would have to complain through Twitter, and honestly, that could still not really go your way. But that's really the best option that some people some smaller creators have, because they don't have somebody at YouTube to talk to directly. So, yeah, that's about it. But of course, as always, I hope y'all have a damn good one, and take care.
Now, I realize that when you call someone a racist, that's a very, very serious accusation. And for that matter, how do you expressly prove that someone is a racist? I mean, unless they're spamming the N-word in the chat. How do you really know? And admittedly, I cannot 100% prove that race had everything to do with this. But I can tell you the people on that policy team, those shadow people that are anonymous and get to enact their will however they see fit. How can we be sure that they take a black person's video and a white person's video, and it can be the same exact video, and they restrict the black person's video, but not the white person's video?